In a country built by immigrants, the debate over who belongs in America is fierce. Immigration law is a shifting terrain, shaped by politics, court decisions, and global events, where one pathway to citizenship can become a perilous maze in the snap of a finger. For many, navigating this legal landscape feels both uncertain and precarious. Every policy shift affects real lives: DACA recipients in limbo, asylum seekers confronting daunting interviews, and even residents suddenly at risk of deportation. These aren't mere legal cases, they're profound human stories where even minor changes can upend futures. Whether you are undocumented or support someone who is, aligning with a knowledgeable, compassionate legal team can be the lifeline that transforms uncertainty into hope.
When it comes to the current immigration system, we often have clients facing not only a very complex area of the law, but also very restrictive. We're facing challenges that we have never faced historically. So now that we're seeing a shift in politics, while the law itself is not changing, the way that we apply the law literally changes every day, sometimes by the hour.
Mi nombre es Nora Flores Vega, soy mexicana. Tengo 4 hijos, estoy casada y me hice residente permanente hace 8 años. Decidí hacerme ciudadana porque amo este país. He tenido muchas oportunidades muy buenas que quizá en mi país no hubiera tenido. Yo soy dueña de mi propio negocio, hago velas artesanales y jabones artesanales. Me da mucha tristeza ver a algunas personas que tienen miedo simplemente salir a la calle. Hacer las cosas diarias, como llevar a sus hijos a la escuela, ir a hacerse un manicure. No sé cómo explicarlo de otra manera. Pues de ver sufrir a las personas que realmente están contribuyendo con su trabajo, con cosas buenas a la comunidad y se frenan por el temor que hay ahorita.
My name is Ignacio Antonio Vadillo. I've always had this mentality where some things might be hard, but not impossible. Being undocumented, at one point I had removal proceedings. The fear was in me, but I did not let that take away my dreams. I always kept it, and work hard for it. And now I'm president of Recycling and Recovery.
The Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has been advocating since 1948 for businesses to grow and scale. And with the current immigration policy, workforce shortage continue to be top of mind for business owners. It's important for legislators to understand the impact that current immigration policy has.
The Arizona economy is really anchored in agriculture, construction, and the tourism industry primarily. And so when you attack undocumented workers, it really kills these industries. When you look at the construction industry, those skilled labor positions are hard to come by to begin with. In the business community, you've got massive construction projects. When those projects get sidetracked because they can't hire people to build them, that impacts everybody. If you are a farm worker and you think that there are going to be raids in fields, which there are now, you're not going to go. You literally have crops rotting in the fields. Hundreds of millions of dollars are being lost. And when that happens, it pushes the cost of fruit and vegetables through the roof. So ultimately, consumers pay the price for this really racist public policy.
I would have been what's considered nowadays a DACA recipient or a DACA student, right? I came here when I was very young. I came here when I was 6 years old. I was the only person that was undocumented in the family. So I ended up being removed from the country and sent back to Mexico. I was 13 years old at the time. I went 4 years without being able to see my mother and not knowing if I was ever going to be able to come back and live with her. So that was devastating. That was devastating for me. That was devastating for my entire family. It was very confusing and it was very traumatic. I was one of the lucky people that was able to return to the United States. And although I was here lawfully, I sensed tensions with the immigrant community brewing, but that really fueled me and motivated me to become politically active and eventually go to law school, obtain a law degree, and open up my own firm where I could help other people that are going through this process.
My detention was due to my overstayed visa, my tourist visa. If I could describe it in one word, it's inhumane. They would pack us 30 to a room. They call them ice chests. Right after I left the detention center, I received a removal proceeding letter. For my people that are in the same shoes that I was before, I totally understand them, and they should contact Ayensa. She's an experienced lawyer. She's been dealing with this for a long time. She's aggressive. She knows what she's doing. I still remember that day that I had my court for the removal proceeding. She had a plan. She had a plan and a solution. She was there with me. We got the great news, removal proceedings gone. That's what she did for me. She gave us a peace of mind.
Durante el proceso que llevé de la residencia, me gustó mucho el trato que recibí, me gustó mucho el apoyo, la seguridad. Son muy profesionales, muy atentos y están muy al pendiente de todo lo que está sucediendo durante el proceso, durante el caso. Estoy muy agradecida.
Oftentimes in these moments of crisis, there are those that want to take advantage and they become predatory to vulnerable communities. And I think the one thing that Ayensa and I have in common is that we want to make sure that we're protecting not just our own families, but those families that are most vulnerable in our community.
I met Ayensa probably 20 years ago. She was out there helping people in the community before she was an attorney. Then she armed herself with a law degree. During this time of crisis, we rely heavily on the law. We rely heavily on the courts. And it's critically important to have people like Ayensa as an attorney representing the most vulnerable people in our community.
In Ignacio and Nora's case, I just couldn't be prouder. These are people that came to this country to pursue the American dream. They didn't know what was going to happen. All they had was hope. And now they have formed their own businesses. Now they're employing other people. And I love feeling that somehow, even in a little way, I was able to be part of that.
CIMA Law Group. We never stop until we win. For more, visit CIMALawGroup.com.